Hi friends, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. If you are new to the channel, every single Sunday I post a new pick a card reading that you, the viewer, get to vote for. So if you enjoy tarot pick a card readings, consider subscribing. Today we are going to be doing your future spouse's love language and how they will show their love. So we have three options. Option number one is the Lovers from the Seer's Tarot. Option number two is the Lovers from the Era's Tarot. And option number three is the Lovers from the Wild Reflections Tarot. So ask yourself which pile or maybe piles have a message for you. And let's talk about what you can expect during this reading. So for this reading, we are going to kick off with your future spouse's energy and love. Who are they at their core when they love someone? Then we're going to go into their primary love language. So the main way that they express their affection. Then we're going to go into their secondary love language. So what is a quieter but also meaningful way that they show they care? We're going to jump into how they show their affection on a daily basis. So this could be like little things that they do to make sure that you feel loved. Then we're going to look at how do they express their passion. So their style of attraction, intimacy, romance. We are going to keep this, this is not going to be an 18 plus portion. So keep that in mind. We are going to look at how they communicate their emotions. So how do they open up, apologize, or share where they're at? We're then going to look at how do they comfort you. So the way that they nurture you when you're hurting or you need extra support. We're going to look at how they want to receive love. So what fills their cup? What do they need in order to feel loved? Then we're going to look at their lesson in love, so what they're learning about giving and receiving love. And we are going to look at how love grows over time between the two of you. So the long-term energy of your relationship, of your connection. I also have some pre-shuffled cards that we're going to go over at the end. So for this reading, I will be using Seer's Tarot for pile number one, and I will be shuffling on camera. For pile number two, it is going to be the Era's Tarot, and this is a Taylor Swift-based tarot deck, so keep that in mind. And for pile number three, it's going to be the Wild Reflections Tarot. So ask if this is something that you are interested in. Stick around. We're about to get started. If this is where you leave me, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I hope you come back soon. But let's jump into the reading. Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card, and this is from the Seer's Tarot deck. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is going to tell you exactly what's going to be covered in this reading and the format it will be covered in. So I highly, highly suggest that you check that out. Again, it is time-stamped below. But we are going to get started. And this is going to be one of those readings where we're just going to kind of jump in and ask about your future spouse and, just what their love language is, what their energy and love is. There are other readings that go into like who your future spouse is and all of that. So I highly suggest that you check one of those out if that's what you're looking for before you check this one out. But yeah, we're just going to jump in and take a look at, for your future spouse, pile number one, what is their energy and love? So we are going to look at who they are at their core when they love someone. We're going to kind of jump into it from that angle. So for my pile number ones, who is my pile number one's future spouse when they are in love? Tell me more about them as a person when they are in love. Who are they when they love someone? How do they show up when they love someone? For my pile number ones, tell me more about their energy in love. All All right, pile number one, let's jump into this. And I actually do want to pick from a different deck. So, bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. And now that I think of it, I do want to bring in this Energy Oracle deck just to get additional information as to who is your future spouse when they are in love. Who are they? Just to add to the message, we're going to look at who is this person at their core when they're in love. How do they show up? Ooh, okay. I'm going to keep those two out. Bottom of the deck, the Temple Path. All right, pile number one, let's take a look. So we have the Queen of Wands, the World card. We also have Victory. And I forgot it was flipped over. And we have Storm Warning. Okay, so pile number one, your future spouse. This is someone that when this person is in love, they love with all their heart. This is someone who cares deeply. This is also someone that I think, and I want to kind of mention this, I kind of showed it really quickly, but we had the Temple Path underneath the deck here, and then now we have Happy Family underneath the deck there when I picked out these two cards. And I think that this really speaks to who your future spouse is when they are in love, because I do think that this is someone that really appreciates a relationship, a connection that feels spiritual, that feels special, and that really has potential for long-term commitment and to bring together two different people that can create something together. I do think that your future spouse is someone that when they are in love, they want to make sure that they are doing everything in their power to be successful in that partnership, in that connection. I do think for many of you, pile number one, this is someone that when they are in love, when they care about someone, when they're considering being in a connection with someone, they're very serious about it. Like, this doesn't feel like someone who is just entering into connections and relationships just for the moment. I do think it's possible that this person has had a fling or two in their younger years, but I think for the most part, this is someone who, when they are in love, when they care about someone, they're willing to put in the hard work. They're willing to do what it takes to ground and center the connection and give it its best shot. I also think that this is someone that when they are in love, when they care about someone, this is someone who is going to show up fully. And this is someone who is going to be very caring, very supportive, very passionate. And this is someone who really wants to work through things, right? Like, this is not someone who's going to give up. This is not someone who's going to walk away when things get tough or when things get complicated. This is someone that if they commit, if they give their word, they're going to stick around. They're going to see it all the way through. And they're going to make sure that you are taken care of and that they are taken care of and that the relationship itself is given room to flourish. And this is someone that really likes to be in a relationship, that really enjoys being in a partnership, and that really wants to create joy and happiness in their world. And I do think we see that Chariot card here. And I said that with the Temple Path being underneath the deck with the energy deck, right? This is someone that is very intentional, and this is someone that wants to create a relationship that is spiritual, that is meaningful, right? So when they are in love, they want to make sure that they are nurturing that love, that they are giving it what it needs, and that they are doing the work that needs to be done within themselves, but also within the relationship. And I think that that's why we have the cards that we have here. And it's someone that wants to deal with things as they come up, right? That storm warning. I don't want to wait for things to get overwhelming or for resentment to build, or I don't want to ignore any issues that are coming up. I want to make sure that we're dealing with anything that comes up as it comes up. I don't want to allow it to kind of snowball into something bigger. And I do think that your future spouse is someone that is very enthusiastic, right? Like someone who wants to be in a relationship, someone who enjoys being in a relationship, and someone who's very passionate about not only the relationship itself, but the person that they're with, making sure that their person has what they need, making sure that they are letting their person know that they are very grateful, very appreciative to have them in their life. So to have you in their life. And I do think that this is someone that when this person is in love, they are going to prioritize the relationship. They are going to prioritize your connection, your time together. And we have quite a bit of like 10 energy here. So we have the 9 here. We do have 2 plus 8 numerology 10, and then we have 1 plus 0, which could be 1. But we do have a little bit of that 10 energy going on here. And we have the World card, which is very similar to the 10 energy. So this is someone that is very much willing to transform and grow and expand within the relationship and figure out what is working and what's not working. And for the things that are not working, how do we create change? How do we create a shift towards something that can work, towards something that will work? Pile number 1, let's get into why we are here. So the primary love language. So for my pile number 1s, what is my pile number 1's future spouse's primary love language? What is the main way that this person expresses their affection for my pile number 1s? What is my pile number 1's future spouse's love language, their primary love language? And this is kind of like their default, their go-to, just how they show love. And we have the 5 of Wands. We also have the Fool card. We have the Devil card. And we have the Chariot. So pile number 1, for most of you, I'm actually getting a little bit of like a twofer here. For most of you, this person is really going to express their affection, show their love through acts of service. For some of you, this is also has to do with like physical touch. And for some of you, it's going to be a little bit of both. Like they want to make sure that they show their love, and that could be through acts of service, and that could involve like, you know what, let me give you a massage today, or let me take care of something for you. But at the same time, like they may like to cuddle, they may like to hold you, they may like holding hands, they may like, kisses, all of those things. But this is someone whose primary love language is making sure that the person that they are with is taken care of. And I think part of that is through prioritizing the relationship and prioritizing their partner. I also think that this is someone that is really going to step up and step in and just ask. And I don't even think sometimes they have to ask. This feels like somebody who is very tuned in to their partner and what's going on. I also feel like this is someone that really likes to do these small things just for the sake of doing them, right? Like this isn't someone who's only doing it because they're being asked to do it, or this isn't someone that things have to get really bad before they kind of step in and try to be a good partner. This feels like someone who is very proactive. This feels like someone who, again, very intentional for my pile number 1's future spouse. So as far as how your future spouse is going to show or their primary love language and how they're going to express their affection, a lot of this has to do with, let me take care of things for my pile number ones, right? Like they're going to do the things, right? Like you need gas in your car. Let me go do that really quickly while you get ready to go to work. You need your brakes replaced. I don't know why that's coming through. This person is going to take care of that for you without you having to really ask for it. You need to have a good meal, so let me send you some delivery food or let me pick something up for you and drop it off. You have a backache or you have, sore feet. You've been on your feet all day. You've been doing the things. Let me make sure that you have what you need. Let me give you a foot rub. Let me give you a back rub. Let me get you a bubble bath. Let me plan a spa day for you. Let me take care of the kids. However, this is going to translate to your situation at any specific moment, but this is how your future spouse shows up. It's through intention, and it's something very thoughtful that they do. They kind of try to stay one step ahead to make sure that you are comfortable, that you are happy, that you have everything that you need. And I also think that for your future spouse, this is about making sure that you are that they are one step ahead, that they are thinking ahead of what you may need, and they are showing up in a very supportive way in that manner. So instead of waiting for, my significant other is burnt out, it's how can I stay ahead of this? How can I help my significant other? And I did say this, but I do think physical touch is going to be a big one. I do think this is going to be someone who is very affectionate, someone who really leads with affection in the physical sense. And that doesn't have to be anything sexual. That could be, as I said, let me give you the back rub. Let me give you a foot rub. Let me just hold you. Let's cuddle. This person really likes to make sure that you are taken care of and that you have that sense of I am loved, I am cared for, I am a priority in my partner's life. And I do think that in some of the ways that your future spouse is going to show up and show that affection or those acts of service will involve let's go out to eat, let's go plan a trip. This feels like someone who is very proactive in that way. And I do think for the both of you and in this relationship, traveling can be one of those things that you do together that you really enjoy and that helps you connect. I also think even if it's not traveling, getting on an airplane and going somewhere, it is about exploring and going out together and having a good time and getting the meals and enjoying the meals, enjoying certain things together is what's coming through here. But pile number one, let's take a look at what is their secondary love language. So what is a secondary love language for my pile number one's person? So this is also a meaningful way that they show that they care, but it's not their primary go-to. It could also work with the primary way, but let's see what we get here. So for my pile number ones, what is the secondary love language for my pile number one's future spouse? Let's take a look. Bottom of the deck, what do we have? That 9 of Wands. This person really likes to make other people's lives easier. And I don't think this is just in a romantic sense. I really think that this is someone that really just likes to make other people's lives easier. They like to make sure that the people that they care about, that the people that they love are well equipped to deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with at any specific moment. And what do I mean by that? That could be, again, I'm going to do the thing for you, right? That act of service. I'm going to go do the thing for you. And that way you don't even have to think about it. Or I am going to be here and I'm going to give you either words of affirmation. I'm going to give you a pep talk. I'm going to give you whatever it is that you need to help you prepare and to help you deal with whatever it is that you are dealing with. So it's a very supportive energy. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the 10 of Cups. And we have the 8 of Cups. So I will say, pile number one, this is someone who doesn't just have like a go-to love language. This is someone who is very adaptable to whatever it is that their person needs at any specific time. So, when it comes to your future spouse, they know when you need acts of service, and I do think that's their go to. They know when to lead with physical touch. They know when to lead with, like, let me just give you a gift and let me grab you something that's going to be very meaningful or something that's just going to uplift your mood. They also know when it's time to give you the words of affirmation. So, all that to say, this is someone that is very adaptable to reading the room and figuring out what their person needs and where they should kind of step up or where they should prioritize their affection, where they should prioritize the way that they show up and how they show up. So, for your future spouse, it's not that they have these go-tos that they kind of just go through and do what they think they need to do because that's what they're used to doing. They're very good at adapting and giving you what you need specifically for yourself at any given moment. And I do think that this is someone this person has very much a protector energy to them. And this person has an energy of being very good at deciphering where their person is at. And I do think part of that is because in this relationship, in this partnership, you both are going to have a very good communication style with one another where you're going to be able to really talk and share things with one another. So you both are pretty much clued into what is going on for the other person. So it's very easy to adapt to what is needed at that time. But I also think that your future spouse is also just very good at reading the room, at reading your energy, at figuring out like what would you need at this point in time to be happy, to be successful, to be, in tune with what is going on in your life. And I do think that this is someone that is always going to really look at the bigger picture and figure out what is needed and act from a place of I am showing up for my partner, not in the way that I need to show up for myself or in the way that feels most comfortable to me, but in a way that feels like I am giving my person everything that they need and everything that they desire and everything that is going to help them be successful at this point in time. And a lot of that pile number 1 has to do with uplifting you. So this is someone that if you are insecure or maybe you are just going through a day where you don't feel your best, your future spouse is going to be very good at giving you that confidence, at like talking you up, lifting you up through love and through their action. So this is someone that is very adaptable and it's not just like a basic go-to love language. Let's look at how do they show their affection on a daily basis. And I'm kind of going off to the side here so I don't move these cards while I'm shuffling. But how does my pile number 1's future spouse show affection on a daily basis? So this is like, what are the little things that they do to show their affection? So on a daily basis, what does this look like for my pile number 1's future spouse? We have the 2 of Swords. We also have the 7 of Pentacles and we have the 2 of Pentacles. So pile number 1, this is someone that is very good at checking in throughout the day. I do think that this person really would enjoy sending like a flirty text, sending a check-in text. So let's say you both wake up in the morning, you go to work. This is going to be someone where if you're not living together at one point, they're going to be the first one to send that good morning text. Good morning, have a wonderful day, love you. Once you are in this relationship, once you are married and you're living together, let's say you or one of you, both of you, however that works in your specific situation, you go to work. Throughout their workday, they are going to check in with you. Maybe it's lunch. Maybe it's, just a quick text in the morning, or maybe it's before they go to work. If you're still home, they're going to make sure that they tell you how they feel about you. So this is someone who I do think this person is going to be very expressive. I do think this is someone who is romantic, but I also think that this is someone who is romantic in a very grounded way. Meaning that I do think that they're very practical about how they do the romance. So it could be like they do show up sometimes with flowers, or it could be more about like those small check-ins, those small reassurances, those small I'm thinking of you, or I just had a break, I wanted to check in, how are you, how are the kids, how's work going for you. I also think that this is going to be a relationship where there is a certain amount of buildup throughout the day, especially if you are planning like a nice evening together. There is a little bit of like flirty. Some of you could even have like these like 18 plus type texts that are kind of building up to like, I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to spend time with you. So when it comes to the little things that they do, they do like to make sure that they're keeping in touch. I also think that this is someone that they're not going to be texting entire conversations or big conversations, but I do think that they know how to use text messages as more of like shorter, just thinking of you messages. And I also think that this is someone that through their daily affection, part of what they do, especially when it's needed, is uplift you and like really give you encouragement. So, if you like, let's say for whatever reason you pack their lunch, they're going to make sure that they tell you that they really enjoyed it, that they really liked it, and that you are the best. So there's something very encouraging about them and something very romantic. But again, it's more in a practical sense. This doesn't feel like someone who is romantic once a year because they plan this very big thing. This feels like somebody who is very romantic and they're showing up on a regular basis and showing you and telling you and communicating with you how much they care, how much they think about you. And one of the ways that they're doing that is by prioritizing you. No matter what's going on in this person's day, they are going to find time to respond to you. They are going to find time to reach out to you. They are going to find time to send you that very nice, like, encouraging, or like, I just love you and I love everything that you do for me and for us and for the family. And I think that they're going to make sure that even when they are busy, even when things are chaotic for you and for them, or for the both of you, or for one or the other, they're always going to find a pocket of time to prioritize you. And I think for many of my pile number ones, this is going to be someone that is very busy. This is going to be someone that leads a very busy life. But again, it's their intention to prioritize you that makes it possible for them to kind of always be in touch in some way on a daily basis, and to communicate. And not only communicate, right? Not only through words, but also through their actions, let you know how much they care about you. So let's take a look at how do they express passion. And I said this at the beginning, this is not an 18 plus reading. There is an 18 plus reading over at Patreon. It is free to access, but it lives there because YouTube won't let it live here because of the source material. I will be working on a new one this month, so November 2025. But there is an 18 plus reading over there that you can access. It's free to everyone. But we're going to keep this. I don't want these. I want this one. We're going to keep this pretty PG. So Ace of Swords. We also have the Five of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. And we have the Eight of Wands. So pile number one, as far as how your future spouse expresses passion, one thing that I want to say, pile number one, because this keeps coming through. This is someone that is very good with their words. This is someone that is very good at communicating. And this is someone that is going to make the best out of their communication style, out of connecting with you and prioritizing you. But especially when it comes through their words and through communication and through flirting, but they're very much using their words. So when it comes to how your future spouse shows their passion, I do think that this is someone that really likes to affirm, to communicate. Like, this is someone who's very flirty. As I said, I do think this is someone who's going to be sending those, X-rated text messages to some degree. I don't think it's going to be something that you are not comfortable with. And if you're listening to this and you're like, listen, I'm not comfortable with this, then that wouldn't apply to you. But I do think that for those of you that would be comfortable with that, this person really likes to do a little bit of like a build up, a little bit of like anticipation, and like, let's just build this up. So when I do get home, when we do get to spend time together, we're ready, and we are already like planning what we're going to do, and we know where we're at. So I do think that that is one way that this person really is able to show their passion. I also think that this is someone that is very good at like talking, even if they were with you in the same room. They do have a little bit of like, I'm going to say dirty talk, and that's all I'm going to say about that. So you know what that means. Like, this is someone that is very good at communicating what they like, what they don't like, their needs, their wants. This is someone that uses communication as a form of expressing their passion. And this is someone who's not going to be afraid to say the thing, right? Like, especially once you are in a connection, in a relationship, this is going to be someone who's going to tell you what they like, who's going to tell you how much they like you, the way that you look, the way that you feel. We're going to keep that there. And in addition to this, I do think that this is someone that when it comes to their style of passion, this is someone who's very passionate and very adventurous and even spontaneous. So this could be, let's just plan a trip. Let's go out. Let's do something different. Let's spend time indoors. Let's try something new in the bedroom. This is going to be different things that this person is going to do, but this person does have a very passionate and adventurous side. And I do think that they're going to let that really flow through in the relationship. And that's part of how they are going to really express their attraction and even romance. Part of their romantic style is a lot of surprises, a lot of just coming through and doing something special for you, whether it's let me tell you about it beforehand or let me surprise you, whether it's, let me just say this thing that I mean and that I think about you and that I care, or let's actually do something more active with it. So this is somebody who is very passionate. This is someone who is always going to be thinking about the next thing that they want to do, and they're going to bring a lot of adventure into the relationship and into your connection together. So let's take a look at how does your future spouse communicate emotion. So how does this person communicate emotion? For my pile number ones, how does my pile number one's future spouse communicate emotion? Tell me more about how does my pile number one's future spouse communicate emotion? 6 of Cups. We also have the 7 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. So one thing I will say, pile number one, is this is someone who is really self-aware. And this is someone that sometimes needs that little bit of time to figure out where am I at, right? Like, where am I at? This is not someone who's going to say something just for the sake of saying something. And I do think that for your future spouse, it's very important for them to be able to gather their thoughts. And I do think that this is someone that may say, if there is an argument or there's something that is very high stakes going on, I do think that it would be normal for your future spouse to say, hey, just give me a minute. Like, let me just gather my thoughts so that I can communicate in an effective way. So this isn't somebody who's going to be dramatic. This isn't somebody who's going to be yelling. This isn't someone who's going to be loud and obnoxious. This isn't someone who really likes to argue. As a matter of fact, I would say that your future spouse does not like to argue, that your future spouse really likes to work things through in their own mind so that they know how to communicate it in an effective way. I will also say, I do think that this is someone that is very good at wearing their heart on their sleeve. And this is someone who has a lot of emotional intelligence. So again, very self-aware. And even when they know they're not sure of what is coming up for them or why something is coming up for them, I do think it's very important for them to be able to take that step back and figure themselves out and figure out what's going on with them. We see that Knight of Cups here. So this is somebody who is very good at communicating what they're feeling, what they need, what they desire, and also very good at talking to their partner to figure out what their partner needs, what their partner desires, and figure out compromise when needed. I will also say, as far as communication style and how this person communicates emotions, I do think part of that has to do with they are very good at showing emotion, right? Like this is someone that, yes, they know how to communicate and tell you how they're feeling, but they also enjoy being in a place where they're able to just also show you, like, let me show you, let me do it. They like to communicate through action, and they like to communicate through taking action on what they're feeling. So if they love you and they want you to feel loved, instead of just telling you that, they're also going to back up their words through actions, right? Like, what can I do for my person to make them feel loved? That's going to be a big thing for your future spouse. I will also say, when it comes to communicating emotion, this is someone that knows when it's time to apologize. This is someone that knows when they need to push a subject or an issue, and also when it's time to take a step back and just allow something to be a agree to disagree. So I do think that this is someone that when it comes to communicating emotions, the biggest thing for them is being sure of where they're at. So that could involve, like, let me take a step back. Let's reconnect in an hour. Give me 2 hours. Let's reconnect, this evening, or whatever the case may be. I will say, I do think pile number 1, your future spouse, is not a texter when it comes to serious subjects. I don't think this person is going to want to write paragraphs back and forth about a disagreement or something that is going on that feels high stakes. This is someone that they're going to use things like text messages for connection and for flirting and for things like that. But when it comes to real big issues, real things that need to be taken care of, they want to do it in person. They want to do it face to face. So I do think at times this person will say, give me a minute, let me gather myself. I will also say, this is not someone who is resentful. This is not someone who is petty. This is not someone who is spiteful. So your future spouse wants to deal with things as they're coming up so that they can release it, they can let it go, and you both can move forward on a clean slate, so that you're not just kind of allowing things to build up. So they are very direct in that way. It's just that I do think sometimes they are going to need to take a little bit of a step back before they're able to kind of go back and have the talk or figure out what's going on. Now, I do want to give a disclaimer. This is not someone who is going to ignore you. This is not someone who is going to sit there and play games with you. This would be someone who would be very upfront of just give me a minute. Let me gather myself. Let me get myself together. And then we come to this table and we talk things out. Because I do know sometimes people like playing games. That's not what this person is doing. They're truly taking the time to kind of cool off and to get their thoughts together and to gather what they want to say or how they want to move forward. So keep that in mind, pile number 1. Especially for those of you who may already know this person, just know that they're not going to play games with you. This isn't someone who's going to poof out and wait a week or 2 and give you the silent treatment and then come back in. This would be at most, give me a few hours or overnight. And they would be communicating that beforehand. For my pile number 1s, how does my pile number 1's future spouse comfort my pile number 1? So how does this person like to comfort their partner? Bottom of the deck, the Wheel. We also have the Four of Wands, the Hermit card, and the Moon card. So as far as how your future spouse likes to comfort you and how they're going to nurture you, either when you're hurting or when you need extra support, this is someone who is going to be very adaptable. That keeps coming through. Pile number one thing about your future spouse is this person can read a room. This person knows how to go in somewhere and figure out what's going on or figure out what you need and act accordingly. So I think that one of the ways that your future spouse, they kind of have to go to. And one of those ways is they're the type of person that they're going to try to make things better. Either they're going to try to make you laugh, they're going to try to get you out of the house, they're going to try to get you to do something that is going to take your mind off of it. So that is one way that they show up. It's let's just do something else, let's do something fun, or let me make you laugh. I also think that this is someone that they also know when that's not the solution and that's just not going to work. And when that's the case, this is going to be someone that is going to kind of come in and say, listen, do you need time alone? Do you want me to just sit here and be with you? Do you want me to, just get you what you need or prepare you what you need and leave you be? Or do you want me to kind of be here? I do think one thing about your future spouse, pile number one, is that this person is a very good listener. And part of that involves them listening to you and them listening to what you have to say. So this could be someone where if it's something that is not going to be resolved or you're not going to feel better by going out and doing something or laughing or thinking about something else, then they're able to really sit with you and figure out do you just want to talk about it? Do you just want to vent? Do you want to come up with solutions? Do you just want to sit here and be on your own? Or do you just want me to sit here with you and we don't have to say anything? So they are very good at figuring out what you need. And I will say, this is someone that is going to be very good. If you are sick, if you're not feeling well, if you are having just a hard day and you just need to be taken care of, this is someone that could be very good at just being in the room with you, holding your hand and allowing you whatever it is that you need, whether it's silence, whether it's just let's watch a movie together, let's cuddle, let me just let you vent, even if you don't want the advice or even if you don't want me to give you my thoughts, right? You know how sometimes we just need to vent. We don't necessarily want someone to fix it, or we don't necessarily want someone who's going to tell us how to do it. So I really think that this is, again, very adaptable to what you need. And it's because this person is very good at reading your energy and figuring out what you need and how they can give you what you need. Now, let's talk about how your future spouse wants to receive love. So we're talking about how they give love and how they show up, but how would they ideally want to receive love? What fills their cup? What makes them feel valued? For my pile number ones, tell me more about what would make my pile number one's future spouse feel loved. How does this person like to receive love? Bottom of the deck, the Star card. The Seven of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups. Pile number one, first and foremost, in order for your future spouse to feel loved, they need to know they can trust you. They need to know they can trust the person that they are with. This is someone who values honesty above all else. And this is someone that when they care about you, they're all in and they're willing to go all in with you. But at the same time, this is someone that if you betray their trust, there's no coming back from that. I have to say that because that's here. This is someone who would more than likely walk away if someone has betrayed their trust in a way that they feel is almost in a way that they feel there's no coming back from. So this is not someone that would allow someone to cheat on them, and they would work through it. This is someone that, like, if you betray them, if you break their trust, I do think in most cases this person would walk away. And that's one of the things that I think that your future spouse really needs in any of their connections is honesty and trust. So that is number one, how they want to receive love is they want to be with someone that they can trust. They want to be with someone that is honest. They want to be with someone that is showing up in a very with integrity, right, to the relationship. I also think that this person really likes words of affirmation and being told that they are appreciated, that they're loved, right? That they are being a good spouse, being a good parent, being a good son, daughter, mother, father, whatever it is. Like, this person really likes to know that they are appreciated. And I also think that this is someone that when it comes to receiving love, they really like that encouragement, and they really like to feel that love from their partner. So for some of you, that could also be physical touch, right? Like, this person really does communicate not only through words, but through physical touch. And this is someone that really wants to have someone who's also giving back to them. Because here's the thing, pile number one, your future spouse is going to show up in a way that is so intentional, that is so just let me put my best foot forward, and that is so loving and caring and kind. And they're not the type that is only looking to receive, but they are the type that needs that equal give and take to feel loved and cherished, and to feel like they are, like they matter. So they do need that level of, like, I'm not the only one that's showing up and doing the things. My partner is also showing up. Now, I don't think this is someone who's going to keep score of, like, I did this, so why haven't they done this? But this is someone who, if they're the only one putting in the effort, that would really get to them. So what is their lesson in love? What are they learning about giving and receiving love? And this could be something that they are currently learning or something that they have already learned. Bottom of the deck, the Ace of Pentacles. We also have the Six of Cups, we have the Page of Swords, and we have the Magician. So I think your future spouse, pile number one, has learned a lot about themselves and about love. And I think part of what they have learned through past experiences. So I do think either when you meet this person or when you are with this person, so for those of you that already know who this is, and you may be in a relationship with them, they've already learned this lesson. And I think for many of you, when you meet this person or when you connect with them, if it's somebody that you don't already know, they're also going to be in a place where they have learned about these lessons for themselves. I think one thing that is coming through loud and clear is that this is someone that has learned through past relationships what it is they want, don't want, need, and what's a deal breaker for them. I do think a big thing that they have learned in love is around what just doesn't work for them, and the type of people, the type of connections that just don't work that they would not work in a relationship with. I do think that this person has learned a lot about communication and the importance of communication and even compromise in a relationship. And I do think that's something that they value. They value a partner that is willing to openly communicate and to openly find solutions. And they value someone who is going to be very intentional about communicating and finding those solutions instead of like playing cat and mouse games or just being someone who just can't talk in a very calm and centered way. I did say this earlier, but your future spouse, they do not like drama. They do not like arguments. This isn't some people really like that. Like some people really like being in connections where there's a level of like drama. There's a level of arguing, screaming. disrespect, this is not that person. This person is not going to put up with any of that. And that's something that they know, that when it comes to looking for a partner, they need to find someone that is on the same wavelength as them, that person is going to know how to work through things, and that person is going to be very respectful in their communication style and in the way that they express their needs. I also will say, this is someone who has learned the importance of being proactive in love and relationships. That's something that they've really learned. So pile number 1, how will this love grow over time? So what is the long-term energy of your relationship with your future spouse? What is the long-term energy of this relationship with your future spouse? Judgment, Tower, Two of Wands, Queen of Cups. So when it comes to the long-term energy, this is a relationship where there's always going to be love. There's always going to be passion. There's always going to be a lot of compatibility between the two of you. I also think what's interesting about this relationship and the long-term energy or dynamics of the relationship is that this is going to be a relationship where both of you are going to grow and expand together. That's coming through with the Tower card, right? Life throws things at us, and that is just the truth. There is no one who is going to be stagnant. There is no one who is never going to have to deal with some sort of challenge at some point in their life, right? Whether it's personal life, whether it's the relationship itself. One thing that's very beautiful about your relationship together is that you are going to overcome and surpass and transform your relationship as needed in order to stay together, in order to respond to the changes that are happening within and around you. So that's coming through as very important. This is also a relationship, a love that is going to grow and expand. And it's almost like you are going to keep discovering different levels of loving each other, different levels of who you are individually, and as a result, different levels of who we are together. So there's a lot of expansion, there's a lot of transformation between the two of you, and there's a lot of just you both growing together and evolving together and experiencing all of your different cycles together, right? Because this could be, we have children, so we have to experience parenthood together. Then our children leave the house and we are empty nesters. Then we retire. So it's both of you growing and expanding through those experiences together. Pile number 1, let's see what we have here. So let's see what we have for your oracle cards. So we have wait, the timing is not quite right. So for some of you, if you haven't met this person yet, just know that it's going to come together in perfect divine timing. For those of you where you may know this person, maybe things aren't progressing in the time frame that you'd like. So it's giving you some information that maybe what you want is possible. It's just not coming in right now. So take that one as it resonates. We also have stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. Absolutely. And pile number 1, this is someone, your future spouse is someone who's very pragmatic and someone who is very intentional and very grounded. So they're very good about creating what they want, but they're also not someone who's going to be rushed into anything. So keep that in mind. And then we also have different pages. You and this person don't share the same vision. So take that as it resonates. I'm kind of getting a few messages with this one. For some of you here, if you are in a connection, in a situation, in a relationship with someone, and you know that maybe it's not this person that's being described, or maybe they're not able to give you all that what you want, this could be a good time to kind of take a look and decide if that's something that you want to proceed with. Because one thing I will say is that you and your future spouse, you do share similar values, a similar vision for the future. So if there is somebody in your life that is taking up time and space and energy and they're not able to give you what you desire, it could be that it's a timing issue and it eventually will kind of resolve itself. Or it could be that you may need to make some choices that are more in alignment with what you want. Take that one as it resonates. Let's take a look. So we have home, cozy, warm, secure. You feel at home with each other. And that's absolutely part of the vibe here, right? This is someone that's going to feel very much like home to you. This is someone that you're going to be very comfortable with. We have feminine, your divine feminine, you seeking her twin or soulmate. So pile number one, it could be that for some of you, you are the divine feminine in this situation and you are seeking your soulmate, your twin, your divine counterpart. Again, there is a level of like, this is still coming together. So for those of you that don't know this person, that could very well be it. For others of you, this could be that this is a relationship where this connection, this person allows you to step into your divine feminine energy. And then we have spring. Your love is blooming. Your answers arrive in spring. So for some of you, spring is going to be either where you meet this person, where you connect with this person, or where there is an opportunity to make forward movement with your person. So keep in mind, spring, I'm recording this in fall 2025, but for some of you, spring 2026 is going to be very, very significant. So keep an eye out. Let's see what we have with the affirmators. Perfect match. Congratulations. You've gotten your and everyone else's wish. This is an auspicious sign that a healthy, authentic relationship is either here or on its way. This is the sort of relationship where you don't have to compromise, settle, sell out, or otherwise be a non-you. This is a relationship anchored in truth and love that neither party will have to hide their farts from. Smells like a special duo. Pile number one, I will say that, like, this feels like a relationship that is very easy. And I want to obviously say, like, I know that there is nothing that is perfect. There's nothing that is super easy, right? Every single relationship has its ups and downs. But this does feel like this would be a very good match. We have warmth. I focus on warmth and let it guide all of my interactions. No matter how others behave, I choose to respond warmly. With warmth, I can melt an icy exterior. I can soften any hard feelings. I can microwave any pizza. Today, I adopt the saying, kill him with kindness, and turn myself into a warm and loving cereal. You saw it. I'm not going to say it because YouTube can be very picky. Let's look at your final card here. So we have sensuality, your freedom flowing far, far away from far away. Let's do that again. Your freedom flowing from far away. I dance, I love, I laugh, I play. Ooh. So pile number one, step into that sensuality. Pile number one, that is what I have for you. Claim it in the comments. I welcome in my perfect match. I welcome in my perfect match because that's exactly what you're going to be receiving. That is your affirmation for the week. Claim it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Pile number one, let me know if you know this person. I'm very curious because they sound like such a great catch, like such a great person. So let me know if you know them. But pile number one, thank you for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share the video if you think it's worth sharing. All of those things help me out so much. Let me know what else you'd like to see next. I do keep a running list. Yeah, but thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be a reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card, and this is from the Eras Tarot. This is a new deck, and I'm going to be honest, pile number two. This deck is the reason why I moved this reading up instead of the past life reading because I wanted to use this deck. So it is a Taylor Swift inspired tarot deck, so keep that in mind. But anyways, as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is going to tell you exactly what's going to be covered in this reading and the format it will be covered in. I highly, highly suggest checking that out because it'll help you figure out if this is the right reading for you. But to get started, we are going to look at their energy and love. So what is your future spouse's energy and love? Who are they when they are in love with someone? Who are they at their core when they are in love with someone? So let's start the reading. Also, I'm not going to go too far into like who this person is for this specific reading because I've done a lot of readings where I do that. So I highly suggest that you check out like, you know, all about your future spouse if you're looking for more of a like just who they are in general. Keep that in mind. But for my pile number 2s, who is my pile number 2's future spouse? What is their energy in love? Who are they at their core when they love someone? Let me do this one more time. Who is this person at their core when they love someone? Who is this person in love? Bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Devil card with the song Dear John. Let me grab a different deck here because we're going to pull from a different deck as well. Tell me more about my pile number 2's future spouse. Who is this person in love? When they are in love, who are they? Who are they at their core when they are in love? What is their energy around love? I will show you bottom of the deck here. Goddess of the Moon. All right, let's take a look. So we have the 10 of Swords. It's time to go. This is very interesting energy. We also have the 10 of Cups. You are in love. We also have the door to personal healing and happiness. And finally, we have 5th chakra with Archangel Gabriel. So, pile number 2, let's talk about who your person is when they are in love, because this is very interesting energy. I do think that your person is your future spouse, I guess I should say, instead of just your person. Your future spouse is someone that when they are in love, they are all the way in. This feels like someone who doesn't really allow themselves to fall in love often. Like this doesn't feel like someone who is super vulnerable to falling in love with just anyone. Like it feels like they are very picky, very choosy. They're very intentional about the people that they allow into their life. And I will say that this feels like someone who really guards their heart and really wants to make sure that if they are allowing someone in, it's because they feel it's a good match. They feel they can trust that person. So this isn't someone who is super, how do I want to word this? This isn't someone who is super like just go with the flow. Let me just allow myself to get to know someone and possibly fall in love with them. I do think this is someone that has had their heart broken. And I do think this is someone that really guards their heart and their emotions, and they like to kind of safeguard themselves and their feelings. So there is a little bit of just like keeping themselves in a place where they're not always like open to falling in love. But when they do fall in love, they're all in. I am getting that, right? Like this is someone when they love someone, they are all in. And when they love someone, it is a very deep kind of love. Like this person, when they fall, they go all in. They fall all the way, right? Like this is not someone who is like lukewarm. They're either in or they're out. And when they are in love with someone, they are quite willing to put in the effort. They are quite willing to invest in the person that they're with. And I do think that love and relationships are something that are very healing to this person because they do take their love relationships very seriously. But again, they also have this sense of like guarding themselves and not really letting themselves fall in love. I will say, pile number 2, it takes a special person to get past this person's armor. It takes a special person to really be able to connect with pile number 2 and the future spouse that's coming in for pile number 2. And I do think that once they are in love, once they care about someone, once they allow themselves to fall for someone, they are able to be their authentic self and kind of take off that mask and show themselves for who they are. Yeah, that 5 of Swords. It takes quite a bit for this person to feel comfortable and for this person to trust someone. But the thing is, they truly do desire love. They truly do desire connection. But it's something that is scary for them. So there is a level of they hold back from it. This isn't someone that this person is complicated. I'm not going to lie. Pile number 2, they're already coming through as like pretty complicated in the sense of how they show up and how they operate. And I'm not getting that this is someone that's a bad person or that plays games, but this is someone that really does protect their heart, and that does cause a level of, I actually want to show what's here because we saw that Goddess of the Moon. Yeah, that second chakra with Archangel Ariel. I also think that this is someone that really does appreciate like close intimate connection. And I do think that this is someone who really does enjoy physical touch as a love language. We are going to confirm that next. But they don't really let themselves open up that easily. But once they do, they're all in. This is somebody who's very passionate. Someone who cares very deeply. Someone who's willing to do the work. But they've been burned. They've been burned in the past, and that's part of the reason that they kind of hold themselves back. It's because they don't want to get hurt again. They've been through pain. For some of you, this person was already in a long-term relationship. This person could have been someone that is divorced as well, because they do have a level of caution, and that has to do with, I opened up, I gave my heart, and it did not go well. So there is that level of, again, safeguarding that keeps coming up. Let's take a look. I want to get further into this. Pile number 2, let's take a look at your future spouse's primary love language. For my pile number 2s, what is this person's primary love language? Tell me more about this person's primary love language. What is their future spouse's primary love language? So this is, how do they show love? Let's take a look. Bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. We also have the Ace of Swords. We have the Hermit card. And we have the King of Pentacles. Pile number 2, when it comes to their primary love language, I do think words of affirmation are coming through. I also think that what's interesting about their primary love language is that they are someone who, when they are in love, when they do care about you, when they're ready to let you in, part of how they express their affection is also by letting you into their world. This is someone who is very guarded. This is someone who is very careful. And I think that part of how they show or express their affection is by letting their partner into their world. And I think if you pick this pile, for many of you, you already know who this is, because I'm kind of being dropped in and given information in a way that makes me feel like most of you know who this person is. and you are going through it with them right now. Like you're kind of in a cycle with them right now. So keep that in mind as you listen to this. It is possible that this is someone that you don't know, but I think for most of you, or a good amount of you, you do know who this person is. And part of how they show their love is through words of affirmation. And I do think that this is someone that can be very reassuring as how they show up in love, especially because I do think that this is someone that also really appreciates words of affirmation as a love language. You know what I just noticed? Look at this. Everyone will betray you with anti-hero. This is very interesting energy that's coming through for this person. And if this doesn't sound like someone that you would be interested in, try choosing a different pile, because this one is already coming in with a level of just like, I think there's history here for a lot of you that picked this pile, and if there isn't, this may not be your pile. But pile number 2, when it comes to their primary love language, it's about letting you in, and it's also about giving you the reassurance. I do think that for some of you, this could be someone that is an avoidant attachment style, and what is going on for them is they're working through this avoidance. But this is someone who really kind of tends to get in their own way and even self-sabotage at times. Now, this is why I feel like for my pile number 2s, for some of you, you know who this is, and there is some sort of like attachment to this person, or there is some sort of like you have already been in a cycle with this person, because it feels like for my viewers that pick this, some of you are already invested in this. Some of you are already like willing to see this all the way through, because some of this is not only about the way that they express their love, but the way that they allow themselves to be seen once they've decided to let someone else in. So it's not just about like, this is how I express my love, but part of me expressing my love is me allowing myself to be seen, and me allowing you to come in and spend time with me, and me allowing you to come in and connect with me, which is a very interesting thing, right? We have that 7 of Cups. Part of how they express their love language, or their primary love language, is, again, words of affirmation. And I think this person is someone who would like choose the other person and make sure that they know that they've been like that they are their person, or that they are someone that they want to invest in. But at the same time, I also think that the words of affirmation have to do with this person needing to reassure their partner as they work through their own things. This is someone who's working through a lot. This is someone who has a lot going on as far as how they're showing up so far. Let's take a look at their secondary love language. Secondary love language. Let's take a look at what we have here. For my pile number 2s, what is their future spouse's secondary love language? Some of you may already be married to this person. What is their secondary love language? Bottom of the deck, let's see what we have. Pile number 2, we have the Fool with Betty. We also have the 7 of Pentacles. We have the 6 of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Wands. So I do think that they do lead with passion. This is someone that knows how to have a good time, but this is also someone that when it comes to their love language, they do show up in a way that feels very, part of how they show their love language, or how they show their love and express their affection for their person, is, again, reassurance. This is someone that really comes in and reassures their person that they're in it for the long run, that they're in it they're going to see it through, that they're not going anywhere. I do think for some of you, pile number 2, this person does require a level of just kind of like time away. And it could be that they travel for work. It could be that they're very busy. It could be that they just don't like, they're not the type of person that really likes spending too much time with other people. That's coming through. It's a very like interesting dynamic that I'm getting. Like, this is someone that will reassure you, prioritize you to some degree, but I also think that this is a person that really likes to have kind of their own space, their own time, and they kind of need that amount of space and time. So they're not always able to physically be around, but part of how they reassure you, or part of how they express their love, is to make you, let you know that you are a priority and that they are going to be around more. But it feels like there's like an absence to this person. Some of you may be in an on and off cycle with this person. This is someone that doesn't really share too much. This is someone that likes to keep to themselves. And part of like how they, part of their love language is to let you into their world. And I do think, I want to say, pile number 2, I do think when you are with them, when you are together, when you're spending time together, or if they commit to you in a relationship, they do try their best to be available, to be around, to give you what you need. But at the same time, I keep getting this like distance, or like this person has walls up that they don't fully let down. And it's interesting because this is supposed to be a reading about how they show their love. And it's kind of coming through as like, it's not even them showing their love. It's like, I put my guard down and I let you in. And that's part of my love language, which is very interesting to say the least. We see that 3 of Swords there, right? So this is someone who is very cautious. This is someone who is very careful. And I will say, I do think for those of you that are in a connection or in a relationship or in a situationship with this person, them like coming around and them truly, it's like a cycle for them. Like, it's truly a journey for them to open up and let you in, pile number 2. Let's keep going. I'm very curious to what's going on here. So how do they show affection on a daily basis? How does this person show affection on a daily basis? So what is the little things that they do to make you feel loved? Pile number 2. Very curious to what this is, because I kind of feel like this is something that is already happening for a lot of you. We have the 4 of Wands. We also have the Star card. And here's the thing. Let's look at all of this before I talk. We have the 6 of Swords. And we have the 3 of Cups. Here's the thing, pile number 2. This is someone that they know how to make you feel special. This is someone that is very like smooth, very charismatic. This is someone, there's something very desirable about this person, but I have to say it because it's here, and I will never lie to you, pile number 2. There is a guard that they're keeping up around their heart. And this is someone that it's like they know how to say and do the right things. And again, I'm not getting that this is someone that is playing games, in the sense of like, this isn't someone that feels like they're leading you on for the sake of leading you on, and all that they're doing is actually playing games with you, and they intend to hurt you, or they intend to break your heart. But this also feels like someone that they're kind of very in and out, and when they're around, it's a good time. When they're open, it's a very good time. But it also feels like at times this person may shut down and then it's not so special. There's some sort of cycle, there's some sort of pattern. And I will say, if you're listening to this and you have no idea who this is, this may not be your pile, because there's some sort of history, there's some sort of pattern or cycle that is playing out here that feels like this is pre-existing, that this has been around for a while. And for some, this could be like an on and off type of connection, or this could be someone that just is kind of hot and cold at times. And a lot of this has to do with this person just kind of not being in a place where, the best way I can say it is, I do feel like this could be someone that has an avoidant attachment style, and they show up and they intend to be better or to be the best version of themselves and to be vulnerable. But at times it gets overwhelming and they kind of withdraw, they pull back. So that's a very interesting thing that's coming through, which again makes me feel like for many of you that pick this pile, if this is resonating, it's because you know this person. And part of what makes them so charming and part of what kind of has you on this loop, pile number 2, is the fact that this person is so good to be around, so fun to be around, so understanding, so loving when they want to be or when they can be, but at times they then pull back and they kind of create distance, or they kind of show up more aloof, more cold at times. So there is a push and pull dynamic that's going on here, and it ends up leaving you lonely, right? It ends up leaving you kind of feeling left out, or not always feeling like this person is able to give you all that you desire, but they can make you feel very special. They can make you feel like you're the only one. And this could be someone that if you are in a relationship with them, or at some point you were in a relationship with them, they would come in and do all the right things, and then either like they would take a step back or they would fall back into the same routine. There's something here about cycles and patterns that have been going on for a while. Let's take a look. So how do they express their passion? And that's one thing I will say, pile number 2, I do think this is someone who is very passionate. Like I do get a like hot and cold vibe from this person. Like they're all in or they're all out, but it's very hot and cold, and I think it can be a bit unpredictable at times, but let's see. How does this person show their passion? Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands. We also have the Hierophant, and we have the 4 of Pentacles with Death by 1,000 Cuts, Clairbow, and Mirrorball. So, pile number 2. When it comes to this person's passion, they are very passionate. And at times, that passion almost feels overwhelming. And it could be overwhelming to you, it could be overwhelming to them. But there is a level of this can feel very overwhelming. And I also think that part of what this person is currently working on, and part of the cycle that some of you are working through with this person, has to do with finding ways to ground and like really focus in that passion in a way that feels consistent. Because I almost feel like this person's passion burns so bright, and it's like someone who can burn the candle at both ends to the point where it sometimes burns out. And that's kind of why I'm getting this cycle of like some sort of pattern, some sort of cycle, some sort of hot and cold energy from this. And this is interesting, pile number 2, because I was going for like, this is your future spouse's love language and how they'll show it. So this is very much not what I expected, but here we are. Look at the Page of Cups. So they can be romantic. They can do the right things. They can show up in very intentional ways. But at the same time, sometimes that passion burns so bright and so intensely that it kind of burns out. And I do think part of what is going on with this person is that at times they need to take a step back to just kind of recharge. Again, I am getting somebody that could be either anxiously, anxiously avoidant or anxious avoidance, anxious attachment, but also just plain old avoidant. And I think it's something that this person wants to work through, but I also think that at times they're kind of struggling with how exactly to do that. I want to see, how do they communicate emotion? Because this is going to give us some information here. How does my pile number 2's future spouse communicate emotion? How does this person communicate emotion? How does pile number 2's person communicate emotion? Let's take a look. Bottom of the deck, pile number 2, we have the 8 of Swords. We also have the Page of Swords. We have the Queen of Cups, and we have the Queen of Pentacles. So, pile number 2, one thing that this person is learning how to do is how to communicate emotion. One thing that this person is learning how to do is how to be in a place where they're able to truly identify what they're feeling and then put it into words. I do think at times this person can be overwhelmed by what they are feeling and what is coming up for them. I also think that when it comes to opening up, it takes a bit for them to open up, and they only really open up with the people that they trust and love. And even then, it can be a little bit difficult for them. So I do think that this person tends to kind of try to be very logical and grounded, and almost like they don't lead with their emotions, or they try to downplay their emotions. I also think that this is someone that at times they don't really communicate everything that is coming up for them and everything that they're feeling and that they're dealing with. So this does feel like someone that at times it's, instead of just like really saying the thing, they either don't know how to fully communicate the thing, or they kind of, again, try to downplay it, try to minimize it, and try to I think sometimes this person kind of withdraws and they go within themselves and they spend time with themselves, and they tend to kind of just focus on other things. So when it comes to how they communicate emotion, it can be a little bit choppy. And some of that is because they have a hard time figuring out their own emotions at times. And I do think that this is someone that if they mess up, or if they have to like apologize, or if they have to communicate something, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the type of person that tries to lead with like, here's a gift, or here is, let me kind of go around the subject or go around the issue, instead of just like saying what I need to say, because it can be very uncomfortable for this person to say some things and be vulnerable. That's coming through. And they may communicate easier through gift giving or acts of service. Like they may show up and do something really nice for you. They may buy you something really nice, and that's their way of apologizing or communicating. Pile number 2, I have to say, this person's communication style is not the best. And a lot of that has to do with them. It has nothing to do with you. And again, I say this, if you're watching this, I think you know who this is. And I think this is almost coming through as like advice rather than a future spouse type of reading, which is very interesting. So maybe this pile was meant to find someone. How do they comfort you? Pile number 2, how does this person comfort you? How does this person comfort you? Pile number 2. How does this person comfort my pile number 2s? Very curious to see what this is. So we have the Emperor with tolerate it. And we have the King of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands. And we have the Hanged Man with but daddy, I love him. So pile number 2, when it comes to how this person comforts you, how they nurture you, how they're there for you when you need support or when you're hurting, I do think that this is someone that tries to solve things for you. Like, this is the type of person that is going to show up and say, like, what can I take from your plate? How can I make it better? How can I resolve it, right? Like, do I need to go out there and take care of the issue? Do I need to go out there and figure out how to solve it? With the King of Cups being here, I do think that they show their emotions, especially when it's something that you're going through that has nothing to do with them. Because I think that this person tends to shut down when they're the ones that are causing pain, or they're the ones that have to deal with whatever is coming up. So, like, let's say you're dealing with an issue at work, or you're having a disagreement with a friend and it's not related to this person. I think in that circumstance, it's easier for them to show up and kind of try to, like, fix it for you, try to be there for you. But I do think that they have a very, like, grounded type of, like, what do I need to do to make this better for you? Versus, like, this doesn't feel like someone who really likes to let someone vent and hear about it and, like, really sit there with you. They kind of have a more of, like, a resolution, let me figure it out, let me fix it, let me make it better type of attitude, versus the, yeah, you can just sit there and vent and let me know what you're feeling and let me know what's coming up for you. This feels like someone that's more comfortable, like, going out there and doing the thing, or going out there and figuring it out for you, or being like, here's the solution. Here is what you can do to make this better. This feels like someone, pile number 2, that is not very comfortable sitting in emotions. That's what keeps coming through for this person. And I do think that they're very good at, like, being around you and being with you and helping you focus on something else, helping you think about something else, or just bringing more, like, bringing a smile to your face, bringing a distraction in. But when it comes to comforting you, they're very direct and to the point. That's what keeps coming through here. And we have that 8 of Pentacles. Yeah, they're very practical. They're very practical about it. They're very pragmatic. They want to figure out the solution. They want to figure out where do you go from here type of thing. How do they want to receive love? For my pile number 2s, how does this person want to receive love? How does their future spouse want to receive love? How does this person want to receive love? I'm very curious to see what this is. How does this person want to receive love? Bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the World card, and we have the Sun card. This person wants to be accepted. This person wants to be understood. For some of you, this person wants a second shot. They want a brand new beginning with you, and they want you to... For some of you, it almost feels like, let's have a clean slate. Let's clear the board. Let's start all over again. And for others of you, this is more about, like, I just want to be understood and I want to be accepted for who I am. Yeah, for some of you, this is somebody that you know and they want another opportunity to make it right. That Knight of Wands. For some of you, this person wants to show you that they've grown, that they can grow, that they can mature, that they can be what you need them to be. And part of the way that they want to receive love is to be happy, to be in the moment, to be able to enjoy their time with you. But here's the thing, pile number 2, I have to be honest, it's very interesting that this is what's coming up, because at the same time, it feels like this person is the reason things aren't necessarily going smooth sailing, because of the way that they show up, and because of the way that sometimes they're not the most open person. So it's almost like they want their cake and they want to eat it too, is what's coming up here. Because the Tower with all too well 10-minute version. Because this feels like someone that would rather not necessarily deal with what's coming up than sit there and deal with it. So it's almost like they want, with the Sun card, I especially feel like they want to bypass some of the things that happen, and they want to go to like the good moments, the happy moments, the joyful moments. But that isn't always possible if they're not willing to deal with what is underlying or what's coming up underneath the surface, or what needs to be dealt with head on. So it's a very interesting, this is pile number 2. Drop the tea, drop the info, drop the, what's going on here? Because it almost feels like this person has infiltrated this reading and they're taking over to give my pile number 2s a message. And I don't think pile number 2 is going to resonate with everyone. Like everyone that picked pile number 2, this is not necessarily going to be your pile, but this person's energy wanted to come through and wanted to be heard. And this feels more like a connection or a relationship reading than it does a future spouse reading. So pile number 2, if you know who this is, let me know. And pile number 2, if you pick this and you don't know who this is and this is not somebody that you would date, this is not your pile. Like this, if you don't know this person, I doubt this is your pile. Because this is like, there's history here. Even if you're not currently in a relationship with them, there's definitely history here. Let's take a look at their lesson in love, pile number 2. What is this person's lesson in love? What is this person's lesson in love? Bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Cups, the Lover, with Lover, the song. We also have the 4 of Wands with Mary's song. We have the Judgment card with the Great War. And we have the Queen of Wands. Pile number 2, this person's lessons in love involve them realizing how they self-sabotage themselves, how they get in their own way. And this person's lessons in love involve them figuring out what they truly want and what they are willing to do to get there. I think this person is meant to learn that what they want and what they desire is possible, but that they get in their own way. This is someone that is learning that they can be independent while still being in a relationship, in a loving relationship. And honestly, this is someone that is currently learning about opening up and being vulnerable and truly letting someone in. And for some of you, you are the catalyst, and this person is going to do the work, and this is going to be your future spouse. For others of you, you are the catalyst, and you may decide to walk away from them, and they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do from there, but there will be someone else for you. So pile number 2, if you chose this pile and you know who this is and you're done with their energy, and for whatever reason you're still listening to this, try choosing a different pile. But I think one of the major lessons in this person's life at this time and just throughout their lifetime is how they self-sabotage. There's a lot of confirmation bias that plays out for this person. And one thing that I will say, pile number 2, this feels like someone that would come across as very confident, very well put together. But on the inside, this person is not very confident. This person is very insecure. And this person tries to overcompensate a lot. Yeah, the 6 of Wands. We also have the 3 of Wands. They're in a place where they can make progress. They're in a place where they can choose to go down a different road. Again, I think for many of you, you are the catalyst in their life and you are going to kind of push them forward. But also, it's up to you how you move forward from this. And I do think for some of you, you're going to walk away from this. But they are learning how to be authentic. They are learning how to be vulnerable. And they are learning that if they want a healthy, loving partnership, which is possible for them, because I think for some of them, they don't even think that's really possible for them. It is possible for them, but it's going to require for them to show up in a different way, for them to show up and be vulnerable, and for them to risk their heart. And that's not something that they're necessarily willing to do. Pile number 2, like I said, tell me what's going on. I want to know. It's not my business, but I really want to know what's going on here because there's a lot that is playing out here. Let's take a look how this love grows over time. So the long-term energy dynamics of this relationship. Let's see. How does this love grow over time? Let's see. Bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 7 of Cups. We have the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the King of Swords. Different things for different people. Let's start there. Different things for different people. So I do think for some, you will find more balance in this relationship. I do think for some, you will find something that works, right? Like you will find, how do I want to put this? For some of you, what you're going to find is a compromise that works. A compromise that allows you both to be together in a way that works for the both of you. I have to be honest, this is a relationship that feels like it's always going to require a level of work and effort. And that's true for many, like for most relationships. But I do think that this is 2 people that are very opposite from one another, having to come together and really figuring out, how do we make this work? And I think for those of you that figure out how to make this work and compromise so that you can make this work and be together, it's going to be a relationship that can be satisfying. But it's also a relationship that really does require that extra level of effort to make it work. I think for others of you, you're going to choose something different and you're going to choose something that's easier. And you're going to choose something that works with your energy a lot better. And I will say for my pile number 2s, this is, for many of you, this has been undecided. You don't know what this is going to be like, which is okay. Like there isn't a end point to this where it's been decided. For some of you, it's still unfolding. And you're going to be able to make choices as you go. I want to see the Chariot. Some of you will figure it out, and this is going to be a future spouse. Some of you will walk away and choose something else. That's how it's coming through. Let's take a look. So we have passion. Try something you've never done before, but there's also a lot of passion in this connection. Patience. Everything is unfolding in divine timing. And for some of you, you have decided that this is what you're going to stick around for and that you're going to be very patient with this, and that's okay. And I do think it can pay off if both people put in the effort. But also, this is saying for those of you that are still in the middle of this, in the thick of it, you don't have all of the information you need to have. There isn't, I just said this, but there isn't a specific outcome that has been decided for this. And then we have friendship. This friendship is leading to more. And for some of you, you may decide to be friends with this person for a while, and then eventually it can grow into something else. And for others of you, this may be something that ends up being a friendship because you decide that this isn't something that you can invest your time and energy into. I want to see what else is here. Vibration, energy, and positivity. Raise your vibration to attract what you desire. No matter what, pile number 2, focus on yourself, focus on your own energy, and focus on what you desire. Because if it's not this person, there is someone else out there for you. And that's why I said, if you chose this pile, you know who this is, and you don't want to put up with this, choose a different pile. And then we have self-worth, values, self-esteem, confidence, be empowered by valuing yourself. And no matter what, pile number 2, whether you decide to continue to entertain this or you decide to walk away from this, the most important thing here is know your self-worth and demand what you desire. And sometimes the hardest thing to do is realize that someone cannot give us what we desire, but you can still choose yourself. And the more you value yourself, the more you ask for what you need, the more you work on your self-esteem and your confidence, 2 things can happen. This person can meet you where you are at, or you find someone that is already in the same place that you are at. And then we have runner, escape from emotion and confusion on the run. Yeah, for some of you, this person is a runner. This person is avoidant. This person is not wanting to show up and fully be available. And again, they can do whatever they want to do. It's up to you how you respond to that. Let's see what we have. So we have teamwork. I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we are a team, everything's game. When we are a team, everything's a game. And when we are on the same side, nobody can lose. Not even the Cubs, finally. So pile number 2, that's the thing. In order for this to work, I don't even want to say in order for this to work, in order for this to thrive, this has to be a team effort. And you have to be in it, they have to be in it. And I think that's what's being figured out at this time. So then we have rest. I take a step away from my stress and then a deep breath and then a crankiness killing nap. When I get the rest I need, I instantly become a better version of myself, able to navigate complex relationships in a single bound. When I don't, I'm not, which means I shouldn't, but I try, and then we can't. And it doesn't, but I did, so it wasn't. Ugh, good night. Yeah, and for some of you, again, allowing this to unfold naturally is the best thing that you can do. Let's take a look at your final card here. So we have glamour. In this mirror, I now see the realms of possibility. Yeah. Because there are many possibilities available to you, pile number 2. And the ball is in your court. You get to choose. You get to manifest. You get to decide where you go from here. Pile number 2, your affirmation for this week is, I know my worth and I accept nothing less. I know my worth and I accept nothing less than that. Because that's exactly what you're stepping into. Pile number 2, let me know if this resonated for you, because this is very out of the realm of what I thought was possible to come through in this reading, but I will always give you what I get. So let me know if you made it to the end. Let me know what's going on, or did this even make sense for you? You don't have to give details, obviously. But thank you for being here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. All of those things help me and the channel out so much. Also, let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. I keep a running list, so they'll all get done eventually. But thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the Lovers card from the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. So as a reminder, this is a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. If it does not fit, do not force it to fit. Also, I did do a reading breakdown at the beginning, which is going to tell you exactly what's going to be covered and in the format it will be covered in. So I highly suggest that you check that out, and it is timestamped below. But this is going to be a reading where we're going to kind of jump right in. So we're going to start by looking at your future spouse's energy in love. So who are they at their core when they love someone? And if you are looking for more of a who are they in general, I suggest checking out like a all about your future spouse reading, which I can timestamp below. But yeah, I just wanted to have this one just kind of get straight to it. And that's what we're going to be doing. So for your reading, I will be using the Wild Reflections Tarot. And let's see, for my pile number 3s, who is their future spouse? What is their future spouse's energy in love? So who are they at their core when they love someone? How do they show up? Let's see, pile number 3. It's going to be those two. Bottom of the deck energy, we have the Death card. And we're going to bring in the Energy Oracle just to get some additional information as well. So for my pile number 3s, who is their future spouse in love? What is their energy in love? Who are they at their core when they love someone? How do they show up? Bottom of the deck for this deck, Magician and the Mirror. All right, pile number 3, let's take a look at what we have here. So we have the Two of Swords. We have the King of Wands. We have the woman, the Thinking Woman. I'm going to kind of slightly move those over, and we'll do the Oracle at the end. And we have Man Holding a Heart. So this is very interesting. I actually really like this energy, pile number 3, because this really speaks to the point that when your future spouse is in love, it's almost like they become the best version of themselves. This is someone who truly wants to show up and do right, not only by their partner, but by themselves as well when they are in love and when they are in the relationship. And it feels like love and partnership and being in love really propels your future spouse forward. This feels like someone who is really inspired by the person that they are in love, or just by being in love in general. And I think that they become more confident, more sure of themselves. I think love tends to give your future spouse a sense of purpose, right? A sense of, this is where I'm going, this is how I'm going to get there. And it really motivates your future spouse. Now, one thing that is also coming through here is when your future spouse is in love, this is someone that tends to show up and really look at themselves and really, it's almost like they look at themselves in the mirror and they say, what do I need to do to give this the best opportunity possible, right? Like, what do I need to do? Again, not only to be the best version of myself, but to give this partnership, this relationship, a chance to thrive. So, this is someone that is very open to growth and open to new information. And I do think that your future spouse is someone who truly enjoys like being in love, being in a connection, because it brings out the best in them. I also think that this is someone that, for some of you, not all of you, so take it if it resonates, this could be someone that kind of gets a little bit anxious of like making sure that their person is being taken care of, making sure that they're doing the right things. That's coming through here. But I also think that it's mainly about them going through personal transformation in order to show up in a relationship or for the person that they love in the best way that they can. And I will say that being in love brings out your future spouses. I said this already, but it's almost like it brings out their ambition. It brings out their desire to move forward, to do better and to be better and to grow. So this is someone that really feeds off of their partner, really kind of collaborates with their partner in a sense where they do have to be a bit I don't want to say picky, but they do have to be intentional about who they allow into their life because they really do feed off of that person's energy. I want to see what was underneath here. Yeah, the Three of Pentacles. This is someone who really enjoys partnership and enjoys working in a partnership as well, right? So this is someone who is going to, if they are in a relationship, they are going to check in with their partner. They are going to check in with their spouse, with their whatever the title is at that given moment, that their fiance, right? Where they're taking into consideration the other person when making life choices, but also that is part of what pushes them forward, right? Like, I want to be my best self. So my person can be proud of me, so I can be proud of myself, but also so that me and my person can accomplish the things that we want to accomplish. And this is someone that is very open to learning in a relationship as well, right? Like learning from their partner, learning how to be in a healthy partnership, learning what they need and what their partner needs, and learning what types of compromises, if any, need to be made so that both people are getting what they need and what they want. And it really makes this person come alive. And I do think the Two of Swords is here. And I think the Two of Swords is here. It's because this person, when they are in love, it kind of just gives them more clarity as to their next steps, as to what's going to happen next for them. And that's, again, pile number 3, that feels like a very beautiful thing because this feels like someone who truly thrives when they are in a partnership, when they are in love, when they have someone to connect with. It's almost like the person becomes their muse in certain ways. That's what's coming through. I want to see what was underneath here. Yeah, woman holding a coin. It really balances out their energy as well. So this is someone that really is in tune with their emotions, is in tune with their heart, but at the same time, it brings clarity to them. It brings a sense of direction to them when they are in love with someone, and it's like they are thriving towards or working towards something bigger than themselves as well, right? Because it's no longer about me, it's about us. All right, pile number 3, let's talk about your future spouse's primary love language. For my pile number 3s, what is their future spouse's primary love language? What is the main way this person expresses their affection? Bottom of the deck, pile number 3, we have Justice. We also have the Six of Cups. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And we have the Three of Swords. So, pile number 3, I think for this person, their primary love language would be words of affirmation and acts of service. I do think that this is someone that is very good at tuning in to their partner's needs and figuring out, what does my partner need right now? How can I be of service? How can I not only encourage my partner, but how can I take care of them? How can I make sure that they have what they need? And I will say, one thing about your future spouse, pile number 3, is that this is someone that is very patient. This is someone that is very grounded. And when it comes to love and how they show up and how they express their affection, it's in a very grounded, patient, compassionate way. I do think that this is someone who is very thoughtful as well. So, let's say that they go out and they see something that reminds them of you, they're going to pick it up and they're going to bring it home. Or if they are planning a trip or something for like an anniversary or a holiday, they're going to make sure that they put effort into it so that they are thinking about you as a person, not just like, let me get flowers because that is what other people do or that is the easiest thing to do. If they get you flowers, it's because they know you like flowers. If they get you flowers, it's because they're putting thought and effort into it. So they're not going to get, the red roses unless that's what you absolutely love. Or they're going to get, the sunflowers because of what the sunflowers mean. So this is someone who is very thoughtful. This is someone who is very patient. This is someone who is very grounded. I think when it comes to their primary love language, I do think this is someone who leads with words of affirmation and acts of service. So this is someone who's going to show up and really tell you how they feel, that you are so special to them, and they're going to mean it. It's not going to be, just a script that they're saying or just something that they say because they think they have to. Like when they give you a compliment, when they share what they're feeling, it's going to be something very special, something very grounded in who you are as a person, something very personalized to you. I even think that this is someone where if this person gives you a nickname, they're not going to go with just like whatever, love, babe, anything like that. Like it's going to be something that is going to mean something to the both of you, that is going to be very specific to who you are as a person. So this is someone who has also a lot of attention to detail, right? Someone who is patient, someone who can pay attention to the small details and fine tune those things, right? If you mention something, they're going to remember it for the future. It's going to come up again. This is someone who is going to be, I think it's almost like this person has nurturing energy in some ways, because they feel like this person's energy. The best way I can describe how their energy feels to me right now is like a warm hug or a weighted blanket. Like that's how this person's love is coming through. It's very warm, it's very gentle, it's very loving, it's very kind, it's very compassionate, it's very intentional. And when they express their love, they do so in very meaningful ways. So when it comes to acts of service, they're going to really make sure that they're doing things that are going to take things off of your plate, that things that are going to help you, things that are going to improve your day, your week, your overall experience. This is someone who is very family oriented. So for those of you that do want to start a family or do want to expand and grow your family, this is someone who's going to come in and be very family oriented and be very intentional. I do think for many of you, this person also has the energy of a provider, right? Of I am going to be here. I am going to take care of you, the kids. I'm going to take care of the family. I'm going to take care of whatever it is that we want to that we want to do for our little family or for, our partnership. This is also someone who is very fun to be around. Like this person is very easygoing and it can be very fun to be around them. And they can be adventurous. I do think that this is someone who likes to spend a good amount of time outdoors. I would say this person definitely either works out quite a bit, or this person is someone who has some sort of like maybe they're into sports or something, but this person keeps active. So, all that to say, their energy is like very grounded, very centered, very welcoming, and they express their love in the same way, right? Like, this is someone who is going to bring peace and harmony into the home. And I also think that this is someone that values peace and harmony as well. Pile number 3, let's take a look at what is their secondary love language. I'm going to move this so I can shuffle. There we go. Because I don't want to shuffle right on here because it's going to blow the cards away. Secondary love language for my pile number 3s. For my pile number 3's future spouse, what is the secondary love language? Take that one out because it wants to come out, but I haven't seen the others. All right, now I see them. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Cups. Pile number 3, I think this person is very romantic. I do want to say that. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have the World card. And we have the Empress card. I think I said this while I was talking about who they are when they are in love, and I have to repeat it because it's coming through here. But this is someone that when they love you, when you are their person, when you are the person that they've chosen to do life with, you become almost a muse to this person, right? Like, you become the most beautiful, the most exquisite person that they have beheld, and they treat you as such. This is someone who is going to really prioritize you and prioritize making sure that you are good, that you are happy. One thing that I want to say is for my pile number 3s, it feels like you are your future spouse's dream person. Like, if they were to dream up their perfect person, their ideal partner, their ideal person, it would be you. So in this partnership, in this relationship, they treat you like you are the most precious thing that they have found in their life. And this isn't something that kind of just, you know, sometimes as relationships grow, as you spend more time with people, you get more comfortable and you kind of just lean back and get, it's not as special, or you're not doing as much for the other person. That's not the case here at all. Like, this is someone where you are their dream person. You are their muse. So when it comes to the way that they show love, they really make you feel like their purpose, their desire is to make you feel so special, so important, and to ensure that you know everything that you are to them. So this is very beautiful in the way that it's coming through. And one of the ways that they are going to love you, and one of the ways that they are going to express their love, is by telling you how special you are, telling you how much they like you, how much they love you, how much you mean to them. So they are going to uplift and boost your confidence. I also think that this is someone who's going to want to make your life as easy as possible. Whether that is like, let me take something off of your plate, or don't worry about, let's not worry about cooking dinner, or whatever. Let's, like, if we have kids, let's go hire a babysitter so that we can go out on a date night. I do think that part of how this person is going to show their love to you is by prioritizing you and making sure that they are taking you out, that they are making your life easier, that they're planning the dates, that they are bringing home, chocolates, flowers, gifts, that they are planning special things for you. This is someone who really does enjoy making you feel very special, but also bringing a lot of peace, a lot of harmony, a lot of ease into your life. And they are going to make you feel very beautiful by the way that they look at you, by the way that they interact with you, by the way that they talk to you, right? This Empress energy coming in. You are the most exquisite creature that this person has ever seen. And they're going to make it known. And yeah, they're going to uplift you, right? So anytime that you may doubt yourself or that you may be struggling with, I don't look my best today or I don't feel my best today, this person is going to come in and just boost up your self-esteem, your self-confidence. And again, it's not because they're doing it because they think that's what they have to do or they're following a script. That's truly how they feel about you. That's beautiful. So how does your future spouse show affection on a daily basis? So what are the little things that they'll do to make sure that you feel loved? Pile number 3. How is this person going to show love on a daily basis? Bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Wands. Yeah, they're going to celebrate you. They're going to tell you how grateful they are for you. They're going to tell you how beautiful you are. Like, I think this person is going to make sure that you are blushing with how expressive they are. And they're very good with their words. They're very good at expressing themselves, but also like giving those compliments that feel like they were made just for you. Like they are about you, they're for me, and they're exactly what I need to hear. Let's see what else we have here. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 5 of Cups. And we have the 7 of Swords. So on a daily basis, how this person is going to show their affection for you is by making sure that you have support, that you have love, making sure that you have the things that you need. That keeps coming up, but I really think that they're going to if you are, let's say that you are someone that has a high stress job. The way that their daily affection is going to come in is going to be like, hey, so maybe let me just send you some coffee to work. Or if you are home for the day and you still have a lot to do, like, hey, do you need me to, send some coffee at home? Like this person, like they're going to make sure that you feel supported, that you feel loved, that you never feel like you are on your own. And that you never feel like you are not a priority for this person. I also think that for my pile number 3s, your future spouse is going to make sure that you never feel alone and forgotten. Like even if they have a very high stress job, or if they have to go out on business, or if they're doing a lot of things to maybe this is someone who works multiple jobs, like they're going to make sure on a daily basis that you feel that support. And I think for some of you, that could even be like, hey, I know you're dealing with kids, or I know you're dealing with some other things at work. Let's hire someone to clean the house. Let's go get takeout, or let's order in today. Like it's going to be through acts of service, but also words of affirmation that this person is going to make you feel very much loved, and they're going to do so on a daily basis. And one thing that you're not going to have to worry about or even think about, pile number 3, is that this person is ever going to betray you, that this person is ever going to look at someone else or get involved with someone else. Because one thing about this person is they have a high sense of integrity and they act from a place of integrity. This person has a lot of ethics, a lot of morals, and this person has very grounded values. So I do think for them, it's about making you feel special. It's about helping you realize everything that you do for the family, everything that you do for the relationship, and making sure that you are taken care of and that you don't have to worry about certain things. And I do think for some of you, this person may be a provider when it comes to the financial sense. So a lot of that is like, don't worry about that. I've got this, right? Like, I don't know if you've seen the video that has been going around in social media where it's a woman and she's usually telling the husband like, hey, I don't have rent money, or I don't have the mortgage payment for the month. And typically it's like the guy reacting and just being like, what are you talking about? Do you even know who we pay our mortgage to? For some of you, that's the vibe. Like, I got you. I'm taking care of everything. You do what you need to do, or, make sure that you are good. And I think for some of you, if you deal with like either anxiety or maybe like at times like your self-confidence isn't what you want it to be, part of how your future spouse is going to come in and show that affection daily is by uplifting you as well. Pile number 3, let's take a look at how do they express passion. And this is going to be a very PG portion of passion. I do have a 18 plus reading on Patreon, which is free and available to everyone. You can check it out. The Patreon is linked below. It just lives there because I cannot post it publicly on YouTube because of the cards and the content that is on there. But it is from May of this year, so you have to scroll quite a bit to find it. Let me know if you have any issues. And I will be working on one very, very soon on a new one, so keep that in mind. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. Yeah, this person definitely... We're going to talk about it. The Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. So, again, I'm going to keep it as PG as possible, but we do have the Devil here. So, part of the way that they express their passion is this is somebody who is very passionate. This is someone who enjoys intimacy. This is someone who enjoys being with you in a very intimate setting. I know you know what I mean, but that's what I mean. I do also think that this is someone who... their way of expressing passion and their way of almost funneling their passion is through creation. This is someone where when they're feeling passionate, they take that energy and they put it towards creating something that is very grounded, something that is very tangible. I also do think that this is someone that is very good at creating monetary success. For many of you, this person is going to be very successful when it comes to finances, when it comes to the things that they're able to create financially. That's absolutely coming through, and I want to make sure that I mention that because I think that's going to be a very important part of how they kind of really express their passions. It's through putting it into a format or using it in a way that is going to create more financial abundance for them and in a way that is going to put it into action. So they're very good at that. But when it comes to love, when it comes to the relationship, they are very passionate. I do think that this person really enjoys spending time with you, being intimate with you. I do think this is someone who really likes to cuddle. I do think this is someone who likes to hold hands. There is a level of public display of affection here. I wouldn't say it's anything that is crass, but it's definitely here of you know what, if we're out, let's hold hands while we walk around. If we are out, let's just, let's do the thing that we're going to do. And while we hold hands, while we hug, while we are affectionate towards another, this is going to be someone who is going to be affectionate in public. Again, this is not coming through as something that would be crass. I also think that when it comes to passion, this is someone that likes to try new things in the bedroom and outside of the bedroom. There is an adventurous side to your future spouse. There's even a very spontaneous side to them. And I do think that when they are able to be spontaneous, it's such a special time for them because this is somebody that is very responsible, that has a lot that is going on at all times. So they're not always able to allow themselves to just be, just to have fun and have a good time. So that when they have those opportunities, they really take advantage of them. So how does your future spouse communicate emotion? For my pile number 3s, how does their future spouse communicate emotion? So how do they open up or apologize or share what's in their heart? Let's see, pile number 3. Bottom of the deck, the Justice card. I will say one thing that keeps coming up, pile number 3, is that this person is very grounded, very centered, very fair. This is someone who is emotionally in charge of their own emotions. Like, this isn't someone who's acting from a place of, emotion, or acting from a place of just being in the heat of the moment. Like, this feels like someone who is very much in control of their own emotions, and someone who is very much able to think things through before acting on them. So I do think this person is spontaneous. I would not say this person is impulsive. Let's take a look here. We have the 6 of Swords. We have the Devil card, and we have the Star card. So one thing about your future spouse is they are going to be direct and to the point. If there is an argument, right? Like, if you are having a disagreement, if there is an argument, if there's anything along those lines, it feels like their intention when communicating is, let's resolve this. This is someone who is very productive by nature. And I think that when it comes to discussing major things or disagreements or just anything that isn't fun and exciting, their purpose with it is, let's make sure that we are resolving this. Let's make sure that we are getting to the other side of this. Let's not let this linger. I do think that this is someone who is quite able to apologize. Like, I don't think this is someone who's going to want to be right and they're not going to apologize. Quite the opposite. I do think that this is someone who is very reflective. I think that this is someone who is able to recognize when it's time for them to either admit that they were wrong, or just, maybe this isn't worth the time and energy that we are spending on it. So let me be the one to apologize, or even let's agree to disagree and let's move forward. So it feels like they are very clear, very intentional. And for the most part, when they are communicating when as it relates to like disagreements, they're always going to want to find the solution so that both of you can move forward and both of you can make amends. I also think that when it comes to their communication style, this is someone who is almost very poetic. And we talked about this towards the beginning. Your future spouse, I think words of affirmation is one of the ways that they express their love and their care and how they feel about you and about, the people that they love. So they're going to almost be dreamy in the way that they use their words, in the way that they express themselves. Like, this is someone who's going to be almost poetic about the things that they are saying. Like, it's not going to be a simple "I love you." It's going to be, "I love you," and they're going to add a little bit of pizzazz to it. It may even come through at times as funny. Like, they may like quote back a movie or a song back to you, and it's like an inside joke that you both share. I also think that when it comes to their communication style, we do have the 7 of Cups here. So they are able to adapt, and they are able to read the room and figure out like what is needed at this specific time, at this specific point, where how can I show up and give my person what they need as far as my communication style while still being honest. So, they know when it's time to be funny. They know when it's time to be serious. They know when it's time to be encouraging. So they're very good at adapting to what is needed. And I will say, with the Devil card being here, part of the way that they do communicate does include the physical aspect and intimacy. I do think that that is part of the way that they communicate without words is what's coming through. And even with words, again, we're going to keep it PG on this specific reading, but you can find that over on Patreon if you are interested. But let's take a look at how they comfort you. I'm very curious, especially for this pile, because for this pile, I do feel that this person is very comforting. So what is the way that they nurture you when you are hurting or you need additional support? How does this person show up and comfort you? Bottom of the deck, the Magician card. Yeah, they're part of their energy, pile number 3, is if they can fix it, if they can make it better, If they can do the thing for you, they are. Like, this is someone who's going to, they're going to listen. They're going to sit with you. They're going to want to figure it out with you if that's what you want. But if there's something that you just want them to take care of, they're going to do it. They're going to fix it themselves if that's what you want. We have the Seven of Pentacles, Temperance, and Eight of Cups. Yeah, pile number 3, when it comes to how they comfort you and how they show up for you, they're very patient. They are very grounded. So this person's energy, like, no matter what's going on, and I don't know what they do for work because we're not looking into that, but for some of you, this person could work in a very chaotic field, in a very chaotic environment, and they're very good at keeping their cool, keeping their center. Because one thing that's coming through about them is they know how to be a grounding force in the lives of other people. And I do think that when it comes to how they comfort you, it's almost like they are the grounding center of whatever is going on. So they're very patient. They're very good at listening. They're very good at holding space. And I did say, this is someone that if you ask them, go fix it for me, and it's something that is within their reach, they're gonna do it. But at the same time, if you ask them or if you let them know, like, I just need you to listen, or, it's something, maybe it's happening at your workplace and they can't go out and do anything about it or fix it, then they're very good at just like holding you, being there for you, and allowing you to have that space. They're also the type of person that is going to, again, what can I take off of your plate while you deal with this so that you have more energy, so that you have more, even just like mental energy to deal with whatever is going on. And I do think that there's something very comforting about them. I said this at the beginning for this group. Your person's energy is like the best warm hug or a weighted blanket. Like, their energy is so comforting, so sweet, so just generous. And yeah, they're gonna be there, and they're gonna make sure that you have everything you need, either to deal with whatever is going on, or even if you are sick, like, they're just going to nurture you, and they're going to make sure that you have what you need, and they're never going to rush you. They're never going to make you feel guilty or downplay whatever it is that you're going through, pile number 3. Let's take a look at how do they want to receive love. So for my pile number 3's future spouse, how would they like to receive love? What fills their cup? What makes them feel loved and valued? Bottom of the deck, the 10 of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups, and the 7 of Cups. So this is very interesting. When it comes to how they want to receive love, we have the 10 of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. And the 10 of Swords is a card of, healing, but it's also a card that says two things. I always say the 10 of Swords says two things. It's good and it's bad, right? In the sense of good and bad. But the good news let's start with the bad news. The bad news with the 10 of Swords is this is as bad as it's going to get. It's a card that says we are kind of in rock bottom. The good news is it's as bad as it's going to get, so there's only one way to go from here. And I think that when it comes to your future spouse and how this person likes to receive love, I do think they really enjoy words of affirmation and they enjoy encouragement. I think they really like it when other people, but especially their person, their spouse, their partner, notices all of the hard work that they're putting in, and they give them those encouraging messages. And I think that this person just really likes to be appreciated for the things that they do, because if we are honest, pile number 3, this person does a lot. And they do like to receive that appreciation, right? I don't think they do it to receive the appreciation, but it is nice to receive that appreciation for your future spouse. I also think that they really enjoy when their person, their spouse, is also putting in effort into the relationship. And I think that when it comes to the effort that they want from their person or from you, pile number 3, it comes down to they just want peace and harmony. They want to be in a relationship that is as easygoing as possible. And that's not to say that this person doesn't realize that there's going to be things that come up and there's going to be, disagreements and compromises from time to time. But I do think they enjoy, I do think they really enjoy knowing that their person has their back and that their person is putting in as much of an effort as they are, because they do try very hard, and it's nice to have that recognition for it, but it's also nice to have someone that they understand and they know is as in on it as they are, right? Like they want their ride or die, and they want their person to be someone who is going to have their back. I also think that this person really likes having someone who is very nurturing, who is very giving, very generous, very loving, and someone who is very warm and very expressive when it comes to love, and someone who can make their day better just by being who they are. So it's very beautiful, because part of how this is reading is I just want you to be who you are, and I want you to show up for me in a way that is authentic, that is true, and that is almost in some ways the way that I show up for you. So, what is their lesson in love? What are they learning about giving and receiving love? For my pile number 3s, what is their future spouse's lesson in love? Bottom of the deck, Judgment. We also have the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the 6 of Pentacles. So pile number 3, when it comes to what your future spouse is learning in love, a big lesson that they have been learning and that they continue to learn has to do with believing that what they want is possible. I do think that this is someone that has had relationships where they were the one showing up and being authentic, being honest, being intentional. And I would not be surprised if this is someone who has either been cheated on or betrayed in some way. And they're learning to trust that if they exist and they are able to love in the way that they do, which is in a very authentic, vulnerable, and just intentional way, that then logically there's someone else like them out there. And I think that what your future spouse is learning and has learned in love has to do with them also realizing that they are going to have boundaries around how they show up in relationships. So again, this is someone that is used to doing the work, showing up and being there for other people. And that hasn't always been what they've gotten back. So I do think that they are in a place where they are being very choosy about who they're choosing to allow into their life and what they're willing to do. So I do think this is someone that, like, the more time that they spend with you, the more time that they get to know you, the easier it is for them to show up and be very generous with their time, with their money, with their, resources, because they have been taken advantage of. And I do think that they are learning how to really read people's energy and figure out what do they want and what type of person are they. Are their values in alignment with my values? I think that's a big one. And they're learning how to love themselves, how to fill their own cup before they allow themselves to connect with someone else, or before they want to fill someone else's cup. And even within a relationship, I think that what they're learning is the importance of self-care and self-love. So pile number 3. How your love grows over time. So what is the long-term energy of this relationship? This is kind of a glimpse into the future for the both of you. We have the Knight of Cups. So a lot of romance. And I think I said this towards the beginning. This feels like the type of person that it doesn't matter if you are together for 5 months or 5 years or 50 years. They're still going to show up and look at you like you are their dream come true. Because for my pile number 3s, you are their dream person. Whether it's their dream girl, their dream guy, their dream person, that is exactly what you are for this, for your future spouse. So they're going to show up with that energy throughout the relationship. Then we have the Page of Wands, the Six of Wands, and the Judgment card. So this is a relationship that the long-term energy is going to be one where there's always going to be romance, right? There's always going to be that connection that the two of you share. There's also that sense of accomplishment within the relationship, and I think individually as well. So you both are going to meet a lot of your goals, if not all of your goals, individually, and as a result, that uplifts the relationship itself. I also do think that this is a relationship that is very spiritual in nature. So for some of you, you may identify with this being a soulmate or a divine counterpart or a twin flame. But there's a lot of growth emotionally and spiritually that you both experience throughout this relationship. And this is a relationship that is going to be exciting. That's going to, you're going to go on the dates. You're going to keep things exciting. You're going to be in love with one another throughout. It's not going to be something that becomes stagnant and stops growing. This is a partnership that is always growing, evolving, and expanding. Pile number 3, let's take a look at your oracle messages. So first we have apology. You can expect the apology that you want to hear. I said this earlier in the reading, but this is someone that is not going to be afraid to apologize. This is someone that is very self-reflective. And this is someone who is not they have no problem apologizing if they know that they are wrong or if that's what is required. Then we have marriage. This relationship is moving toward a sacred union. Yeah, so this is, the marriage partner. For some of you, you may already know who this is. And then we have fate. This is a destined partnership. Yeah. So for many of you, you are meant to meet this person. You are meant to connect with them, and you are meant to enter into this marriage. We also have forgive, tranquility, peaceful mind and heart, freedom from the past. So for some of you, you may know who they are. If you do, take that as it resonates. But again, I do think one of the things that is going to be very beautiful about this partnership is that there is so much forgiveness. There is so much grace. There is that willingness from both parties to apologize when that is what is required. Then we have healing, self-care, time out, be gentle with yourself and your twin. And it is going to be a very healing partnership. Also, for some of you, if you haven't met this person, or even if you've met them and maybe there is a separation going on, this is a time where there's a lot of healing happening. And then we have soulmate, compatibility, companionship, your best life partner. Yeah, this is meant to be the life partner, right? We had that marriage card come out. This is the life partner. For some of you, it is a divine counterpart. For others of you, it's a twin flame. But this is a life partner. And pile number 3, you were the only pile that got an extra of these cards. So let's see what you got. It says ownership. I take ownership for how I make others feel, and I do my part to repair any bridges I might have burned, or perhaps even lightly singed. If bridge mending feels impossible, then I can start small. Instead of becoming a bridge architect, maybe I'll just skip the bridge and walk the long way around. Taking ownership is great for burning calories. 2 things, pile number 3. Because we're kind of having that apology, that forgiveness, that ownership. I do think this is a relationship where both of you are quite able to take accountability. And again, there's a lot of self-reflection here. Also, for some of you, if you know who this is and you're in a period of separation, you may be hearing from them very, very soon. I would say within the next month. This is being filmed in November 2025, but it is timeless. So a month from whenever you're hearing this. We also have self-worth. I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a totally kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they think and feel what they feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing what I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I already know, I think. And then final card, we have acceptance. When I get to know new people, I accept their actual traits rather than the ones I project on them. Same goes for not new people I already know. Acceptance is the delicate art that reminds us everyone is on their own unique self. Everyone is their own unique self, and we can't expect them to ever be anything but. Man, how do those snowflakes do it? Final card, pile number 3. We have creativity. By all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. Pile number 3, that is what I have for you. Your affirmation this week: I embrace love and romance. I embrace love and romance. And I think pile number 3, the more that you can embrace love and romance, and if you don't know this person yet, start to, just treat yourself in ways of like, what does love and romance look like with my partner, and what does love and romance look like to me? Let me do some of that. The more you can usher in this energy. Because I think this is closer than what you may think. And for those of you who know who this is, and there's a no contact, I think within the next month, you may hear from them. For those of you who don't know who this is, and you've never met them, and you don't know who they are, I do think within the next few months, it could even be a month, you may run into this person. But pile number 3, that is what I have for you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, share the video if you think it's worth sharing. Those things help me out so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I am sending so much love, so many blessings, and we will talk soon. Bye for now.